Alcohol addiction. Alcohol addiction is a compulsive need to drink despite health, relationship, and well-being consequences. With time, tolerance develops, necessitating higher intake. Withdrawal symptoms like tremors and anxiety arise upon cessation. Long-term abuse leads to liver damage, cardiovascular issues, and mental health problems. Drug addiction. Drug addiction is a complex condition marked by dependence on various substances, including illicit drugs, prescription medications, or over-the-counter drugs. This leads to an overwhelming compulsion to seek and use these substances, often resulting in harmful consequences for health, relationships, and overall well-being. Nicotine addiction is the compulsion to nicotine found in tobacco products, leading individuals to continue tobacco use despite awareness of associated health risks. This addiction manifests as strong cravings and difficulty quitting, often resulting in adverse health effects and diminished quality of life. Gambling addiction. Gambling addiction is a condition characterized by compulsive behavior that profoundly disrupts an individual's life across personal, financial, and professional domains. The uncontrollable urges to gamble often result in severe consequences, including financial ruin, relationship breakdowns, and impaired occupational functioning. Video game addiction. Video game addiction is defined by compulsive and excessive gaming behavior, where individuals prioritize gaming over other activities. This obsession can lead to withdrawal symptoms when not playing, such as irritability and restlessness, and neglect of essential daily responsibilities like work, school, or personal relationships. Internet and social media addiction. Internet and social media addiction is characterized by compulsive behaviors associated with excessive internet usage and engagement with social media platforms. Individuals affected by these addictions may experience withdrawal symptoms when offline and often neglect real-life responsibilities. These behaviors can have adverse effects on mental health, social interactions, and overall well-being, underscoring the importance of intervention and support. Food addiction. Food addiction is defined by compulsive behaviors surrounding eating, including obsessive overeating or binge-eating episodes. These behaviors often result in obesity and related health issues, such as diabetes and cardiovascular problems. Individuals affected by food addiction may struggle with feelings of guilt and shame, further perpetuating the cycle of overconsumption. Sex and pornography addiction. Sex and pornography addiction involve compulsive behaviors associated with sexual activity and the consumption of pornography. These addictions can significantly disrupt relationships and mental well-being. Individuals grappling with these issues may find themselves trapped in a cycle of shame and guilt, which further fuels the addiction. Shopping addiction. Shopping addiction is characterized by an uncontrollable urge to engage in excessive shopping, also known as compulsive buying disorder. This behavior often leads to financial difficulties and emotional distress. Individuals affected by this addiction may struggle to resist the urge to shop, resulting in impulsive purchases and mounting debt. Work addiction. Work addiction is characterized by an obsessive focus on work, also known as workaholism. This intense preoccupation often leads to the neglect of personal relationships and physical health. Individuals afflicted by this addiction may prioritize work over all else, experiencing burnout and strained interpersonal connections as a result. Exercise addiction. Exercise addiction is characterized by compulsive behavior toward physical activity, where individuals engage in excessive exercise, potentially harming their bodies. This addiction may lead to overtraining, injuries, and neglect of other life aspects. Caffeine addiction. Caffeine addiction is the reliance on caffeine commonly found in coffee, tea, and energy drinks, among other sources. Individuals with this addiction may experience withdrawal symptoms when reducing caffeine intake. These symptoms can include headaches, fatigue, and irritability, highlighting the body's dependence on caffeine. Smartphone addiction. Smartphone addiction refers to excessive and compulsive use of smartphones, resulting in decreased productivity, disrupted sleep patterns, and social isolation. Individuals affected by this addiction may find it challenging to limit their screen time, leading to negative impacts on various aspects of life. Plastic surgery addiction. Plastic surgery addiction is a behavioral disorder where individuals constantly seek to alter their appearance through repeated procedures. Rooted in deep insecurity, it can lead to excessive spending and risky surgeries. Obsession with attaining an ideal image may overshadow other aspects of life, causing individuals to rely on surgery for self-esteem. In severe cases, addiction may drive them to extreme measures, including self-surgery. Stealing addiction. Stealing addiction, known as kleptomania, is a mental health disorder marked by an overwhelming urge to steal items, regardless of need or gain. Individuals experience tension before theft, followed by pleasure or relief. Despite awareness of consequences, they impulsively steal. Unlike theft, kleptomania stems from an uncontrollable impulse rather than rational motivation. Feelings of guilt often prompt attempts to rectify the behavior. Love addiction. Love addiction is a condition characterized by an unhealthy fixation on romantic partners, also known as affective dependence. Individuals base life choices and behaviors on the pursuit of an idealized relationship, often neglecting personal interests and well-being. They chase the rush of first romance, but struggle to sustain intimate connections, leading to feelings of detachment and discontent. This perpetual cycle perpetuates a constant search for new partners to recreate the initial thrill of falling in love. Self-harm addiction. Self-harm addiction involves deliberate self-injury as a coping mechanism for overwhelming emotions, often beginning when individuals feel unable to manage their emotions effectively. Cutting or burning oneself becomes a compulsive behavior aimed at numbing emotional pain and alleviating distress. Teen self-harm addiction arises from a lack of effective coping skills to deal with intense emotions. While deliberate self-injury provides temporary relief from emotional pain, without proper coping mechanisms, it can escalate to more harmful actions. Religious addiction. Religious addiction is a recognized yet age-old affliction with profound effects on individuals and families. Like substance addiction, it alters mood, either inducing euphoria or numbing emotions. Tolerance develops, necessitating increased religious engagement for the same effect. Withdrawal symptoms occur when religious activities are absent. Understanding these parallels sheds light on the complex nature of religious addiction and its impact. Adrenaline addiction. Adrenaline addiction is a real phenomenon, often overlooked compared to substance addiction. Thrill seekers may engage in risky activities seeking the rush of dopamine released in their brains, driving them to seek out increasingly dangerous thrills. This addiction can lead to recklessness and disregard for personal safety, along with potential physical, mental, and legal repercussions. Recognizing this compulsive behavior and seeking mental health support are vital for managing and overcoming adrenaline addiction. Hoarding addiction. Hoarding addiction is a complex psychological condition marked by the compulsive accumulation of possessions, often to the point of clutter and disorganization. Individuals with hoarding addiction experience intense distress at the thought of discarding items, leading to significant impairment in daily functioning and relationships. This addictive behavior is fueled by a deep-seated need to acquire and retain possessions, despite the negative consequences it may bring.